Hello. Give everybody a couple minutes to hop on here. Hope everybody's doing well. Make sure that I'm on showing up on Facebook and that you can hear me. So I'll log on in just a moment. Yeah, looks like I'm live. Starting to see some folks come on. Hi, everyone. We'll give it just a few more minutes and I'll get started. I don't really have any COVID updates today, but do have a couple things I want to talk about. So certainly taking your COVID questions if you have them, but I think we all may be COVID out. So, all right. Apologize for last week. Wasn't able to hop on due to a personal issue, but I'm glad to be back today. Looks like we got a few people, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you're catching the replay, thank you for joining us. If you're here live, thank you for joining us. As always, we are happy to do this weekly and as needed, and it's been about every other week lately just because there hasn't been a whole lot of new information. But let me stop and introduce myself. For those of you that don't know, I'm Deanna Sizemore, Director of Compliance with Bim Group, and I have been with Bim 11 years, and we are all working through working remote, and I'm happy to bring this service to everyone. Over the past couple of months that we've been doing this, we've been doing COVID updates, things that are new legislation-wise from the Family First Recovery CARES Act to, I can't even think of all the regs that have come out since then. It has been like drinking through a fire hose. I was telling someone the other day when healthcare reform was passed, it took us about 3 years to get a lot of the legislation, so it came in waves. Unfortunately, with COVID, it came in one big tsunami, and trying to keep up with it has been a little difficult, but I think we've done a good job. So if you have any questions related to anything compliance, feel free to put those in the chat. I will answer them as I can. So today what I really wanted to just talk about was issue some reminders. It's that time of year. If you are a calendar year renewal or calendar year ERISA plan, that certain requirements are due. So I just kind of wanted to talk through those. If you don't think they apply to you, hang around. Maybe you might find out they do. I'm going to start with some basics, and then I'm going to get into a little meatier, but I'm still going to keep it somewhat high level and short. I don't want to use up a whole hour by any means, but I do want to talk about some of the issues that I know come up this time of year with plans. So if you are a health and welfare plan sponsor and you have a health plan with 2 or more people on that plan, you are required under ERISA to have a written plan document and a written summary plan description for the plan. This is not the carrier created documents. So the carrier will provide a certificate of coverage. They'll provide a master policy. They may provide an application. The ERISA plan document and ERISA summary plan description include a lot of specific ERISA requirements and things that are specific to your plan that the carrier documents do not. The carrier documents tend to speak to just your benefit and not necessarily your plan procedures. For example, if you look in a medical carrier certificate booklet of eligibility, it may say refer to your company's plan document, or it may say first the month following date of hire if you're an active employee. And then you get to active employee, it says see your plan document, employer's plan document for specifics. So your plan document would say, hey, it's first the month following 30 days if you're a full-time employee, and full-time employee means that you work on average 30 or more hours per week every week. or 20 hours a week, whatever that may be. It also includes information about your ERISA plan number, your ERISA plan year, your agent of legal process that's the person that gets your legal documents or any type of documents that need to be signed or reviewed. That would be that person. The ERISA plan year and ERISA number are a bit precarious because as an employer plan sponsor, you choose that plan number and you choose that plan year. And that plan number typically starts with 501 and goes up from there. 50 is usually the first two digits. And if you've never had a plan before, 501 is great. If you don't know if you've had a plan, if you don't know something that's maybe been written before, you can always jump up to 504, 505, 507. So, again, a bit precarious. And then the other piece is your ERISA plan year. That can be your renewal. That can be your fiscal year. That could be your accounting. That could be whatever 12-month period you want it to be. Typically, it follows renewal just because it's easier to maintain your other requirements if it follows your renewal. So once you have an ERISA plan document and a summary plan description as a plan sponsor, you are required to give that summary plan description to your participants. I'm going to pause for a minute, see if we've got any questions about who needs to have an ERISA plan document, who needs to have a summary plan description, and what needs to happen. So essentially, recap as I'm waiting for questions. 2 or more employees actively on a plan requires an ERISA plan document and a summary plan description. The plan document is the contract between the employer and the employer plan sponsor, which are typically one and the same. It would just be ABC Company and ABC Company Health Plan. The summary plan description is the document between the health plan and the participant. So every group, 2 or more employees, has to have those 2 pieces. In addition to that, if you have more than 100 participants on any plan, as of the first day of the plan year, you're required to file a 5500 filing. A 5500 is an informational filing that goes to the Department of Labor. And the reason I bring this up now is the majority of plans that renew or have an ERISA plan year, that is calendar year, 1/1 through 12/31, that filing is due at the end of July. If you are listening to this and you think, oh my gosh, we've never done this and we've got 105 people on the plan, don't panic. There is a way to rectify that situation. It's called a delinquent filing program. And the DOL is really great. If you raise your hand and say, hey, we goofed up, we need to fix this, there's a cap on the penalties. If you don't raise your hand and just hope you don't get caught, and then you do get caught, there is no cap on the penalties, and it is very expensive. I know it went up last year, maybe. I don't have the number right in front of me, so I apologize for that. I should have pulled that data before I got on the call or on the live. So with the 5500 filing, again, that's 100 or more participants on the plan. If you have a health plan, a dental plan, a vision plan, a life plan, and a disability plan, and the life plan is the only plan with 100 or more participants on it, you still have to file a 5500 on that life plan. If you have an ERISA plan document that is just for the life insurance, then you only have to file for the life insurance. If you have what we call an ERISA wrap plan document, that's going to include all of your benefits. So with an ERISA plan document, you have to have one for every plan, but you could do a wrap document and it does exactly what it sounds like. It wraps around all of your coverages. So you could have one ERISA plan document that names your medical, dental, vision, life, disability, etc., which allows you to file one 5500 for all of those plans. If you don't have a wrap document, and let's say your life, your medical, your dental, your vision, they all have more than 100. If that's 5 plans, that's 5 5500 filings. So one of the first things we do is, we want to look at your plans. We want to see what you've got. We want to see how many ERISA plan documents you have. And we're going to try to get you to consolidate those so that you only have to deal with one 5500 filing. That 5500 filing that's due at the end of July, again, is for calendar plan years, ERISA plan years, not necessarily renewal years. And following that is what's called a summary annual report. And that summary annual report has to be distributed to participants. That would come out, I think it's the end of September, just 3 months later, or 2.5 months, I think is the deadline actually. So you're going to file a 5500 informational report to the Department of Labor, and then you're going to give your participants a summary annual report. Again, this all goes back to how many participants do we have on the plan, and do we have the proper ERISA documentation in place? You don't have to, if you're under 100, you have no obligation right now on the 5500 side. You just have to worry about the ERISA piece. So I just wanted to kind of pull that out because I know that's coming due. We've got a lot of our January 1 ERISA plan year groups that are in the process of reviewing draft documents and getting ready. And if you are a BIM client and you're doing 5500 yourself, or you're using a third-party vendor, please contact me, because we do have a strategic partner where Bim Group will pay for one 5500 filing per year. So again, another reason you want to get an ERISA WRAP plan document in place, you want to be able to file one 5500 under one WRAP. So if you've got any questions about the WRAP document, if you're not sure if your group has one, please feel free to reach out to myself or your account executive. We'll be happy to see what we can find. I will tell you, the ERISA plan documents do not get filed anywhere. So if you don't have a copy of it, or you don't know if one exists, we're not going to be able to find a copy of it, and we're going to recommend you get a new one. Those do have to be updated. The frequency on those basically is the ERISA plan document has eligibility specific information, plan contact information. You can make it generic to not name the carrier. You could say medical, dental, vision versus Anthem, Delta, IMED. And with that, you only have to amend that plan if you have a change to your eligibility or your plan contact information. And if you amend it, you only have to restate it, which means you're going to incorporate those amendments into a new document once every 5 years. If you don't have any amendments, you only have to do it once every 10 years. So, and that's, again, that's something we'd like to help you kind of stay on top of. But I wanted to be able to have something to talk about today if we had no COVID questions or leave questions. I know leave is a big top of mind right now for folks that are trying to come back to work. Maybe you've reopened your office and some people are coming back and some are not, or some are refusing to, and you're trying to figure out how to handle their benefits. So again, if you've got any questions related to anything compliance-wise, feel free to drop those in the chat. Let me see what's going on here. So just making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, great. The other thing that has a looming deadline is the PCORI fee. We thought that last year the PCORI fee was the last year and we were done. This is the patient-centered outcomes fee. They extended it through 2029. So every year about this time, if you are a self-funded plan, or if you have a non-integrated health reimbursement account, you have to report the number of covered individuals on those plans, multiply that number by what the PCORI fee is for the year, and file that on your 7/20 Q2 tax form. So the PCORI fee that is due for end of July of this year, of 2020, it is for plan years that have ended on or after 10/1 of 18 through 10/1 of 19. So if you are a November, November 17th through October 31st, 18th plan year, through October 1st through September 30th, 19 plan year, that PCORI filing is due. It is $2.45 per covered individual. If you have a self-funded plan, you need to be filing that. If you have a non-integrated health reimbursement account, so that is something that's not embedded in the carrier. I know United and Anthem both have embedded health reimbursement accounts, but some employers have health reimbursement accounts through a BMS or a McGregor. Those are the ones you're going to have to count on. If you're fully insured, you don't have anything to worry about. The carrier is taking care of that on your behalf, and trust me, you are seeing it on your renewal. The fee going into next year is going to go up about 9 cents. I think it's $2.54 is the number. So a couple of things come and due. We just want to make sure you hit those dates. Again, 5,500 end of July, PCORI fee end of July on the form 720, so that you can make timely filing on those. If you are in renewal, you want to make sure you're getting updated notices out to everyone, including your Medicare Part D. It's real important right now in this time period when we've got people coming on and off of COBRA, or coming on and off to work and being eligible for COBRA, that they're aware, if they are over 65 or Medicare eligible, if your health plan prescription coverage is Medicare Part D credible or not. That's very important to maintain that information and give them proper notice, because it could affect them if they choose not to elect the health plan and go on Medicare. That's one thing, but if they choose to elect the health plan and not take Medicare, and your plan happens to not be credible, they're going to pay a penalty for that to Medicare when they do join. It also could be a situation where if they are terminated and they elect COBRA and they are Medicare eligible, they have to stay on COBRA until it exhausts in order to get on Medicare. So you want to make sure folks are educated, they are with their choices. If you need help, if you have an employee that needs help with Medicare, we do have a couple of strategic partners that can give them some assistance. That's not our area of subject matter expertise, but we do have people that we can refer them to. So I'm going to slow down for a minute and see if anybody has any questions. Just looking to see if there's anything else I want to call out. So just a quick snippet today about ERISA plans, 5,500 filings, and the PCORI fee. If you've got any questions, please feel free to pop those in the chat. One thing while you're doing that you may want to consider is amending your flexible spending account plan, dependent care, healthcare spending, to allow individuals to come on and off the plan due to COVID. We've had guidance from the IRS that an employer can amend their plan. They don't have to, but they can. I know some of the third-party administrators, such as BMS, are sending out information to employers asking them if they want to do it or not, basically making them make that decision. So if you need help deciding the pros and cons of that, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you through that process. I know we've got a group that I talked to last week that I've got to get something to them on kind of the pros and cons of why they would or would not want to allow that to happen. So let's see. I don't see any questions. I hope I'm not missing anything, because I sometimes have issues getting the questions. I'm going to check my computer real quick and make sure I haven't missed anything. See if I can get logged in again. It logged me out. So well, okay, I don't see anything on this end, so hopefully I'm not missing any questions. If I am, I'll go back and look at them and answer them later, and hopefully this video will be posted later today or tomorrow on our website. So as a reminder, you can go to bimgroup.us/COVID-19, and there's a bunch of COVID resources there that you have access to. At the very bottom of that page is a section for Tuesday Talk. If you click on Tuesday Talk, it'll take you to that page where you'll find all the last, all of our Tuesday Talk lives, even the one that was on Thursday. So if you've got any questions or comments there from a video that you may watch or catch, and your answer, it's not answered, please feel free to email me. or give me a call. And you can find my information on the website as well. But in any event, it is Deanna at Bim Group. .us. I forgot that quick. Crazy. And the phone number is 859-255-9455, extension 123. So, hope everyone is having a good afternoon. Again, don't hesitate for any questions, and I look forward to catching up next week. Thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon.